Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at noon.
We start with breaking news for you this Tuesday afternoon. Fargo police are searching a North Fargo neighborhood for two boys who they believe were involved in a number of car break-ins overnight. Three girls who may also be involved are already in custody. Police tell us that they started getting calls from people in the Riverwood neighborhood right around 4 this morning. They ended up setting up a perimeter there and finding what they call a suspicious vehicle that was reported stolen yesterday. Now, police say one boy in the vehicle took off on foot. The other is believed to be prowling the neighborhood, and police are still actively searching that area at this hour.
There's no danger to the public. They're committing property crimes, going into vehicles, taking things, slashing tires, things like that. So we're investigating that right now. Any information would be helpful.
Investigators say that if your car was broken into or vandalized, or if you see anything suspicious, you should give them a call. And of course, you can stay with Valley News Live throughout the day for updates on this breaking story. Well, new for you at noon, 5 people are in jail after a traffic stop turned into a drug arrest. Cass County deputies stopped a car on I-94 just west of Castleton around 10:30 last night and say they found drugs, stolen property, and a concealed weapon in the vehicle. They ended up arresting Corey Fleischfresser, Alberto Carpenter, Odessa Rodriguez, Brian Grob, and Timothy Bjornson on multiple charges. All of the men were transported to the people were transported to the Cass County Jail in Fargo. The investigation is still ongoing. Well, we are also keeping our eye on a developing story out of the Northern Valley. Police there are investigating a business break-in in Grand Forks that happened early this morning. Someone living nearby told police that they heard glass breaking and saw 4 people running away from Infinite Vapor right around 3 a.m. When officers arrived, they found a window shattered and items stolen from the store. Anyone with information about the incident is asked to contact Grand Forks Police. Their number up on your screen right now, 787-8000. It's been a rainy morning in many parts of the valley, and many still getting rain this afternoon. Some much needed water for lawns and fields around the area. Let's check in with meteorologist Lisa Green for a first check of our Tuesday afternoon forecast.
Yeah, I think most people are happy with this rain. It turns out the severe weather was just a little farther south of us in parts of South Dakota, and we just got the thunderstorms and the downpours with it. So it wasn't severe, which is good, and we're getting that moisture still this afternoon in Fargo, and then up into the Clearwater County area as well. Some heavier rain falling there. Zooming in, you can see Fargo still getting some light rain, and Lisbon and back over to the Oaks area, or Lemoore rather, and that's all going to continue moving eastward over toward Detroit Lake. Some good rain showers there, and just north of Bagley we're looking at some heavier rain in Clearwater County and up toward the Red Lake area. So that's where the pockets of heavier rain are, but no lightning fortunately with this latest round. Now that's going to continue moving to the northeast. You can see some clearing behind it, so keeping our fingers crossed for some good sunshine this afternoon, though that may help to create a couple more showers or thunder showers. We'll talk more about those chances coming up and what we can expect for the rest of the week as well in just a few minutes.
All right, Lisa, we'll see you then. The White House is calling a Washington Post report that President Donald Trump revealed classified information to Russians false. The National Security Advisor insists no intelligence sources or methods were revealed, but the story's co-author says that misses the point. It's the sensitive details the president shared that are problematic. Landon Legi reports from the White House.
President Trump took to Twitter to push back against reports that he shared classified information with the Russians in this Oval Office meeting last week. Mr. Trump said he had a right to share facts about terrorism and airline safety and did so for humanitarian reasons and to get Russia to step up its fight against ISIS. The Washington Post reported Mr. Trump discussed classified information that came from a U.S. partner that was so sensitive it had not been shared with U.S. allies and was even restricted in the U.S. government. National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster was in the room. He said the story, as reported, is false.
At no time were intelligence sources or methods discussed.
Now, the president can disclose classified information, but the concern is that Mr. Trump may have revealed significant details compromising a sensitive intelligence channel. Greg Miller is the co-author of the Washington Post story.
If this was all appropriate and there was no problem here, why was it that White House officials were quickly calling the CIA director and the NSA director to give them a heads up on what had just happened?
Lawmakers want to know what was said.
If this report is indeed true, it would mean that the president may have badly damaged our national security, nothing less.
Senator Chuck Schumer is calling on the White House to make the transcript of the meeting available to the Congressional Intelligence Committees immediately. Landon Legi for CBS News, the White House.
The May 10th Oval Office meeting took place the day after President Trump fired FBI Director James Comey, who was leading the investigation into whether Trump campaign associates were coordinating with Moscow during the 2016 election. The sentence is in for a man in a Fargo murder case, and the length of it is raising some questions. Landon Legi will spend 22.5 years in jail for the death of Corey Terlecki, whose body was found at her South Fargo home a year ago. Charges against Legi carried a maximum penalty of life in prison without parole. Instead, the 23-year-old could be out when he's 45. The prosecutor says that they don't believe the sentence was enough for taking someone's life, but also added that they were concerned they might have lost the case if it went to trial. Well, in our consumer alert for you this afternoon, you may soon be able to use your face to check in your baggage when flying on Delta. The airline is testing out a facial recognition machine that would allow passengers to self-check their luggage. Delta says 4 self-service bag drop machines will be installed at the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport this summer, and one of them will be equipped to test facial recognition technology that will match customers with their passport photos. Passengers without passports can still check their own bags, but they will need a Delta agent to confirm their identities. In our schemes and ripoffs today, the VA is warning that accidentally dialing a wrong phone number could put you in touch with scammers. There's a fake phone line out there preying on people who are trying to reach the Veterans Choice Program. The number for the Choice Program starts with 1-866, while the scam number starts with 1-800. The VA says the fake line will offer you a $100 rebate if you turn over your credit card number. Now, the VA stresses that they would never ask for this information or offer an incentive. Well, you'll also want to watch out for something called Pearl parties that are becoming very popular on social media. You pay for an oyster, and it's about 20 bucks. Then the host of the party opens it while you watch. A pearl that's found inside is then shipped to you. Now, there have been several complaints posted against some of the companies involved in these pearl parties. Some people say that the pearls they got turned out to be fake. Others say their pearls never arrived at all. Well, it's certainly something that many of us do a lot in the summer. And if you're really looking to wow your guests at your next barbecue, there's a great local program that's helping people pump up their grilling game. NDSU's BBQ Bootcamp is once again coming up next Tuesday. You'll learn about marinade and rub recipes, new cooking methods, and even how to pick the right cuts of meat. The camp is also a great way to understand the link from farm to plate.
So all the meat that we use for BBQ Bootcamp comes from the NDSU Meat Lab, which comes from our NDSU units. So it's kind of unique in that manner that you know exactly where it comes from.
The NDSU BBQ Bootcamp ends with a full barbecue meal. The cost is $30 to attend. Space is limited, and registration ends on Friday.